Good morning. Welcome to another Friday reading vlog from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. She's already up and dressed. I've up and dressed because I had to go to the dentist this morning. I was in the dentist chair, I would say maybe 1 minute. And he looked at everything and said, yep, everything's fine. Come back for a checkup in 6 months. Now, I read a headline earlier this week which said it's harder to get it's harder to get a dentist appointment or to get on the books for at a dentist than it is to get Taylor Swift tickets. And my sisters-in-law had a really hard time getting Taylor Swift tickets last year, so I know it's very important to stay on the dentist books. But yeah, I had basically exactly the same appointment 6 months ago where he looked in my mouth for moments and said, yeah, that's all good. The dental nurse who writes the stuff down, she weren't even in the room. So he was like, yeah, this is all fine. So he told me 6 months. I booked it for a year because I thought, and if I have any problems then I can come back. Funnily, when I was in there, while I was waiting, an older couple turned up and they said, oh, we've just got the bus down. We didn't want to call and block up your telephone lines, but my wife needs seeing today, this morning preferably, because we've got the bus down, so we can't get back. And the receptionists were like, well, we haven't got any appointments this morning, we're fully booked. That's why you need to call and book an appointment. And they said, oh, well, we've had a cancellation at 12:30. And they were like, have you got anything before that? We don't really want to wait around. And they were like, no, we haven't. We're fully booked. And the woman said, well, what about Monday? And they said, yeah, we've got an appointment at 2:30 on Monday. She said, oh, no, that won't do. I don't want to get the bus back with the school kids. And they said, we'll just sit and wait. So they were going to sit and wait in the waiting room until 12:30. But they weren't happy about waiting. Anyway, dental stuff aside, I'm back. I've made myself a cup of tea. David's about to go and get his hair cut. And yeah, I thought I'd run through reading plans for today and maybe into the weekend. So, the books I am currently reading, and I imagine will be reading for this, I can't see me finishing any of these, are Finding Me by Viola Davis. Viola Davis, actor, and picked this up from the library in the week. I've been doing a lot of walking because I've been trying to get me 10,000 steps a day. So I walked down to the library in my lunch break on Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe it was even Monday, no, Tuesday I think it was, and I walked back reading this, which is something I haven't done for a long time. I used to walk home from school reading, and I read a chapter and a bit on the walk back, so yeah, enjoying this so far. Didn't realise how sort of full of poverty and sexual assault and abuse and tragedy Viola's early life was. So I've just got to the point where she's got herself, she's at acting, she's at Rhode Island College studying acting. So we're about halfway through that, but I can't see me finishing that, even though these things, I do read these quite quickly, autobiographies and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't see me following that. And then yesterday I was out for a walk with my sister, also on my lunch break, and there's a little community library, I'd say a couple of streets away, and they had in there the book Jane is Trying by Issy Sooty. Issy Sooty is an actor in the UK. She's been, I know her best for her part she played in Peep Show of Dobby. But she's also hosts the Penguin podcast, and I've been meaning to get my hands on this for a while, and then when I saw it in the community library yesterday I picked it up, and then when I was walking back I started reading it. So these are two books I haven't read whilst walking for many years, like 20-30 years, no, 20 years, not 30 years, and then started reading both of these as I was walking. So yeah, so I started reading this. So I've got 2 books on the go at the moment, so both of those. I'm also listening to the audiobook of a book that I've read before. It is called Lowborn by Kerry Hudson, and it's a memoir about Kerry's childhood, living in poverty and in and out of care and things like that. I read it a few years ago and absolutely loved it, and I'm listening to the audiobook and it's narrated by Kerry herself. It's really great book. I'm very much enjoying it, and yeah, eye-opening and everything. So those are the 3 books I've got on the go. I don't think any of those are going to, because you may well have seen last week I started my new reading challenge, which my wonderful friend Jen had prepared me for my birthday. So there's 10 prompts in here, and I completed my first one last week on the first reading vlog of the year, because I'm doing it once I've finished the book. So I'd have to finish a book that would match one of these prompts, and I don't think either of those books, or the third one, or the audio book, sorry, match the prompts. But last week I read a book by an Indigenous author. No, it wasn't. It was a book in translation. I actually read 2 books in translation last week, and I got these gorgeous little pins. I was going to put them on. I must go, I will put them on at some point today, these lovely little pins, little flowery pins. But yeah, I don't think any of these, but I will go through them again. Read a book that fits with the season and makes seasonal snack meal to go with it. So I'm not going to do that. I think I was going to save that for autumn. Read an arc. Neither of those are arcs. Read one of the shortest books on your TBR. Neither of those are short. Read a book you heard recommended on a podcast. Neither of those have been recommended on a podcast. Read a book picked by David, either one he bought you or just selected from your TBR. Neither of those he picked. Oh, read a book in translation. I've already done that one. Read a book that was on another booktuber's best books of the year's list. Now, the Viola Davis book was on another YouTuber's best books of the year list. I've watched so many of them, I can't tell you who it was. But I would be able to go back and find it, because I've been putting so many reservations on at the library. I've got so many books to pick up from the libraries, both libraries that I'm a member of, because I've been doing loads of reserving books that are on people's best books of the year. So if I do finish the Viola Davis book this weekend, then I can open that one. Read one of the oldest books on your TBR. Either you've owned it for ages or was published long ago. Neither of those are those. Read one of the largest books on your TBR. No, neither of those. And then the last one is read a book by an author whose work you have loved before. Haven't read anything by any of those people. So the only one that could possibly get open today is read a book that was on another booktuber's best books of the year list. That's if I finish Finding Me by Viola Davis. So that's at the top there. And then let us pick a lit chat question. So these are the questions that I asked at the top of the video, and then we answer it at the end. So you can answer it in the comments and I'll answer it at the end. But yeah, it takes a bit of thinking about some of these questions. Sometimes I have the answers very much there at my fingertips, and sometimes not. So we get into the... I wonder how many of these cards we've got left before we... So luckily the cards all have 2 questions on. 1, 2, 11. So we've got 11 questions left, and then so that's 11 weeks, and then we'll go back and answer the second question on the card. So here we go. They're very difficult to shuffle. In fact, I'm mainly sort of just shifting them around. Here we go. What's this one? Pride and Prejudice. Read Pride and Prejudice. If you could be inserted into a romantic relationship from any book, which one would you choose? Which character are you in this literary love affair? Oh, what a good bloody question. Put these ones back and then I'll ask it again. Oh, a literary crush, and you know I like to get a crush on people. If you could be inserted into a romantic relationship from any book, which one would you choose? Which character are you in this literary love affair? So we will answer that at the end of the video, and then just a few more bits, because we're busy in these Friday reading vlogs now. So at the end of the vlog, I'll be reading a poem for every win today. We also started last week listening to a piece of classical music and then just having a little think about it. And that's from this book, which is called Year of Wonder by Clemency Burton Hill. So it's got a whole year of a piece of classical music per day. And then what we did last week is that I told you what piece of music it was. We listened to it, paused it, and then had a little think about it. So yeah, we'll do that again, which is very enjoyable. And then I've also, last thing, I'm working my way through the sweet roasting tin, doing a little bit of baking every single week, just to sort of make myself a bit better at baking, because I'm not very good. Last week's cake, a complete success. Cherry and almond cake we made last week. I'll link last week's vlog down below if you haven't watched it. And we made it and ate it on the day, and it was lovely. Took a slice to the cinema that night, which was also lovely. And then my mum and dad came round at the weekend, because my dad put up a mirror, and they had a slice of the cake and loved it. Today's cake, David's less excited about, but I think it's going to be delicious. It's a chocolate lime truffle cake. So we're going to be making a chocolate lime truffle cake later on, and that serves 8. So we'll probably have a little bit today, and then over the weekend. It's also nice to have sort of like cake in the house if people come and visit, because you can be like, do you want a slice of the cake I've just made? And then the last thing I just want to show you is what I'm making for dinner tonight, because well, I was thinking what we're making, and I was having a little look at what we had in the fridge, and when you have a couple of things that you know you can make something delicious with is very, very exciting. So I knew that we had what the cluck, which is like a fake chicken replacement, which is my favourite fake chicken replacement. And I knew we had a mango because I bought a mango to do one of the cakes, next week's cake in fact. But it's not going to last that long. So we're going to make mango chicken curry. So it won't be chicken curry because I'm making it with what the cluck, I'm vegetarian. But we've had this before and it was absolutely delicious. So David, on his way back from the hairdressers, is just going to nip into the supermarket and get the things that we didn't have, which were onions, ginger and creme fraiche. We're going to have that for dinner tonight. And we're also very excited because we've got last night's episode of The Traitors and tonight's episode of The Traitors to watch, and last night's Taskmaster to watch. So we've got an evening of telly ahead of us. But for now, I'm going to sit here and drink my cup of tea and read some more of Jane is Trying. Very nice to sort of like pick up a book from a community library and just start reading it on the way back and then carry on reading it. Because I've got loads of, neither of these books were on my TBR for this month, but yeah, both books I was looking forward to reading, so let's go with it. Well, I had a lovely bowl of muesli, which I haven't had in ages. It's cold. I've had to put the heating on. I mean, I would say to David, because David works from home a lot, I'm always like, put a jumper on, put a top on. So I've got a top on underneath this and a jumper, but it is still cold. So I've just had a read, about 30 pages of Jane is Trying. I'm quite enjoying it. I realised I hadn't read the back when I picked it up, and I just read the back and I saw loads of comedians on here that like it, that I also like. James Acaster, Aisling Bea, Daisy Buchanan, Bridget Christie, Josie Long, Adam Kay, Sarah Pascoe. So yeah, page 93 I'm at now. But I was just thinking, it's 11:30. Do I want to? Because I want to have a little sort out in the bedroom. I changed the sheets in the bedroom yesterday away from Christmas sheets, and I wanted to have a proper clean in there. So I want to have a wipe down and I want to sort through my dressing table. I've got a rail in there now because I'm doing this fashion challenge where I'm wearing a different outfit every day. So I've got a rail in there, so I'm keeping an eye on what I'm wearing as the month goes by. Oh God, I've got one finger that needs painting as well. So do I want to go and do that first, or do I want to make the cake? I think the cake feels like more of an afternoon thing. So maybe I'll just go and I'll put a load of washing on, and maybe I'll just have an hour in the bedroom, because that should do it. Just doing various jobs in there. Bedside tables, I want to empty those and clean them. I need to dust everywhere. Yeah, maybe I'll go and do that next. And I'm listening to, I really do like this podcast a lot. I'm listening to Now You're Asking, which is a BBC podcast with Marion Keyes and Tara Flynn, and they get people writing in with sort of questions and queries and stuff, and they answer them. And I just love, they're both Irish and they're both so warm and so invested in these people's problems. And some things are really, really small and some things are really, really big, but they put so much heart into the answers. So yeah, so I've got 2 episodes of that to listen to. So maybe I'll just go and do that whilst I have a little potter around, and then by that point David might be back, and then maybe I'll think about making that cake. I am excited about making that cake. I hope it's nice. But yeah, and also moving around, that will warm me up a bit, won't it? So let's go to the bedroom and have a little walk, sort out. Let's put my slippers on first. Slippers. Got these slippers when I was on my honeymoon in Norway. They had them in all of the touristy shops, and they had them in this colour and like navy, but yeah, they really remind me of like Anna from Frozen. That's just one half of the bed head. It's been a while since I've polished that there. Oh my God, I think I've just given myself a terrible blood blister on the tripod. I just unwound it and it just went right down and pinched a bit of my skin. So yeah, painful. I went. I'm just putting on my little badges that I got from Jen last week in my reading challenge. I thought it would be cute to have one on either end of these, and these are in sort of like springy colours. Oh, shall I put that one and then a blue one on? Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, I think I will. I was going to put a white one on, but I think I'll put a blue one on here. Because the blues and the are like almost exactly the same colours as on the jumper. Look how cute they are. So they just look very cute. And not like nipples. So yeah, so I've done the bedside tables, I've polished the headboard, and I'm now just going to have a little sort through my my dressing table, which as you can see is a bit of a mess. Dressing table seems to be the dumping ground for me. So yeah, so we're going to have a sort through what needs keeping, what needs not keeping, and then I'll just show you a few things that I've been using, because I've got a little bit of cleaning stuff for Christmas and stuff that I've been using around the house and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to purge this and work out what's staying, what's not. And I've got a drawer here where I can do the same, although to be honest, I think the drawer's probably fine. I'm going to ignore the drawer because it's still, I'll give it a wipe down on the front, but all of this stuff in here I am using, so, and it's in pretty good order, so I think I'll do that next time. But yeah, I'm going to purge this, worry about my hand, and then we'll do some spraying and wiping and stuff. So let's go. You could see me. He was waving at Daphne. Very cute. Right, first things first, we've got me H Handy 700 Pets Hoover from Hoover. It's very, very good. And my niece loves hoovering with it. And it comes with certain attachments and stuff. Yeah, I got it, I follow someone on Instagram called Dazzling Cleaning, who I would really recommend, and she recommended it, and it was on like a deal where it was very, very cheap. So I think instead of being like £90, it was something like 35.
My hair does look nice, thanks.
Oh, your hair looks lovely, David! It does look nice. Let me have a proper look at you. It does look nice. Do you want me to hoover your head because there's some little sticky bits on there?
Yeah, probably will be.
How was he?
It was alright.
Had he missed you?
Well, I don't think so.
He's straight back down. Did you go to Morrison's?
Yes.
Well done. Sorry I didn't say it as you got in.
Alright.
Are you a bit sad?
No.
Oh, phew. And then next up we're going to give it a dust with my damp duster, which is from Scrub Daddy. And it just comes like this, and then you just literally like wet the dust off and it all comes off. And it's got these little ridges that collect dust, and it just does an amazing job. So I've hoovered up most of the dust, but I'm gonna do it on here. It's collecting. Would highly recommend one of these, really would. There we go. And then it all just gets trapped, as you can see, in these little grooves, and then I just go and rinse it off under the tap, and there we go. That's been used. Now, my mum keeps hers in a bag so it stays moist all the time, but she says that sometimes hers smells. Mine never smells, and I let it dry out completely and then just wet it again when I need it. It takes a lot of wetting because it's completely dried out, but yeah, that's what I do. Next up, I've got something new, which is very exciting. David's mum bought this for me, Purdy and Fig. This is the counter clean. I've also got the bathroom clean, and it's cleaning products made entirely out of essential oils, but are still safe for pets, guys. And you get the glass bottle, which is, you can use forever bottle, with a really good spray on it. I'm very particular about my spray, but this is a really good spray. So you get the bottle, and then 3 of the counter cleans that come in like little, almost like essential oil bottles, and you put them in here. This is 300ml with water, and then that lasts, I mean, they all smell amazing. So it doesn't last as long probably with me as it would other people, because I'm literally spraying it on everything. I've got the This is the citrus one I've got in at the moment, and it's just lovely. And the smell really hangs around. It's very spa-like. The bathroom one is also very spa-like. But yeah, it's to do it. There's all sorts of stuff in there, but it's the main sell is that it hasn't got loads of sort of bad chemicals in and stuff like that, and it's pet friendly, vegan, cruelty free, and all of that stuff. And yeah, I think if you're cleaning with it as often as I am, which I am because it smells so good, I'm less concerned about there being germs because I'm wiping stuff down so often. And also you get a really, really good cloth with it. This is the cloth I got with it. So I've got one of these and then another one for the bathroom. Purdy and Fig they're called. And they're just lovely microfiber cloths. So yeah, I'm just tend to wipe everything down with this now. So there we go. Oh God, it just smells so nice. And then the last thing I'll do is I'll just give it a dust. And another thing I got for Christmas that I'd asked for from David's mum, she made me an amazing cleaning thing, is e-cloths. So they're microfiber cloths, but they're sort of higher grade, so a bit more expensive. I got the starter kit, which comes with a dusting cloth, a windows cloth, so dusting and like mirrors and stuff, windows, a bathroom cloth, a kitchen cloth which has like a little scrubby bit in the corner, and everyday cloth, so that could be for like washing up or for wiping down sides and stuff. I'll probably eventually use that maybe with my clean, but they last a really long time. They last, that you can wash them at like 90 degrees, like something like 300 times, and you don't need water with them, and they just bring everything up so amazingly, and it's like magic. So yeah, highly recommend e-cloths as well. So today's little cleaning tips: get yourself a damp duster, get yourself some e-cloths that will last you forever and you can just clean with just water, and get yourself some Purdy and Fig, and I'll link all of those below. God, this looks bloody gorgeous. I'm going to do the rest of my mirrors with this in a minute, with no product, no glass cleaner. It just comes up so great. Right, but I'm going to fill this back up now. Let's go. I'm so elated with how clean and lovely my bedroom looks. Our bedroom, sorry. And I just finished by spraying down the doors and wiping down the doors with the old Purdy and Fig. So David just got back from the hairdressers, and he wants to watch the Traitors now. So we're going to do that. And I've got a cup of tea that he's just made me. These boots are made for dancing. And we're going to watch that, which I think will be good. And my sister's just texted to say, do you want to come over for dinner tomorrow night? Well, she asked if we wanted to come tonight, but I'm very into the idea of having that curry for dinner tonight. So we're going to go around there for dinner tomorrow night, which will be lovely. But now to watch Traitors episode 5, and then maybe we'll have a little chat about it afterwards. You excited?
Yeah! Don't show, I want to watch everything. I want to read.
Well, I'm skipping the Waterloo Road trailer, if that's okay. I've paused it. Very, very into it. Am I going to paint this fingernail? Because I was thinking maybe I'll just take this nail varnish off. Cleaning just destroys nail varnish, doesn't it? And I was thinking maybe I'll just take it off tomorrow and repaint after I've done a few more choresies in the morning. Bathroom's day tomorrow. I think maybe I'll read a bit of my book while I'm waiting for David. Blood blister update is that it did never become a blood blister. So we've just watched episode 5 of the Traitors. I think maybe shall we save the Traitors talk until we've watched episode 6, David?
Yes.
And then that way that there's no spoilers if everyone's watched to the end of the second week. So yeah, I think we'll save that. But I've just done a little bit of cross stitch while I've been doing it. I can't show you this cross stitch because it's somebody's birthday present, and that somebody might be watching this. So yeah, I can't sadly show you. There's a quick flash of the back. That was the back of it. But I will show you when it's done, if I haven't posted it by next Friday, which I probably will have done. All these spoilers. But yeah, I'll be taking photos of everything I make this year anyway, so yeah, nice. David, on the other hand, is making a bookmark for his dad for his birthday. Can I just quickly show the book? He won't be watching this. So yeah, so it says books in big blue, this lovely blue. I mean, David's is so neat. Look at the back of David's, it's gorgeous. This is this Ada is so stiff, isn't it?
So tough.
Yeah, and then it's going to have lines around each of the words, which is in a different stitch that David hasn't done yet. And then we're going to back it on a bit of felt. So yeah, we're doing that. And that will continue this evening, which is good. So I'm going to put this away now, and I'm going to have a wee, put the washing out, take the washing off the airer, put the new lot of washing out, and then I'm going to make the cake. It's chocolate lime truffle cake time. This is what the finished thing looks like. I'll be doing it in 2 separate pots because that's what I did last week and it worked out quite, yeah, it's the same size roasting tin and I did them in 2 separate ones. So they're actually IKEA storage pots that are in glass that I find very helpful because you can buy the lids that fit these and then they can go in the oven, they can go in the freezer, you can take them to work. They are heavy. So when we go on picnics and stuff and or work and I take these, they are heavy, but that's what I'll be cooking. But let's get the stuff ready and then let's get going. So 170 grams of softened unsalted butter. I'm trying something here because I've only just got this out of the fridge, but apparently if you put hot water into one of these and then put that over the butter, it should warm it up. So we'll see. 170 grams of soft dark brown sugar. And that is it, apart from a pinch of sea salt flakes, which I do have, and I'll put some more in my little pinch pot that I made myself. I made 2 of these. One that says, see that I've done it so it says salt on the outside. Can you see that? Can you see that? Get my face out. No, you'll just have to take my word for it. It says salt on the outside and salt on the inside. And I made a salt and a pepper one when I was at a Christmas. I was at a Christmas like craft thing and I was like, I really want to make pinch pots and not decorate them. So yeah, I really like how they came out and I use them all the time. Right, so here we go. It says 15 minutes to prep and then 25 to 30 minutes to cook, and then I think you have to wait for it to completely cool. And yeah, leave to cool completely. So I think the cake will be done and then that will be done later. But let's get going, shall we? The cakes are baked and now it's time to make the ganache. They're not actually, I mean, there's a little rise on it. I'm going to put them back in the pot. Actually, I'm going to trim this, then put them back, and then I'll make the ganache. Yeah, they look alright. I need to get better at lining things because, I mean, this is better than last week, but last week the cake had almost like massive bits out of it because the baking paper was so scrunched up. I've just been eating so much chocolate and cake mixture, I'm never going to want to eat these, but hey. So yeah, 2 with this sort of ganache thing on top. Hurrah for me. So I'm going to, just like in the book, 'cause it doesn't mention this in the recipe, but the book itself, the cake, has these sort of like green, nice bits of lime on top. So when I serve it, I'll do that. But Dave and I think we're going to have a slice tonight after our dinner, and then I'm going to take one round to my sister's tomorrow. So yeah, so I'm going to let them completely cool up here, and then I'm going to put them in the fridge because then that will harden that even better. Harden that even better. And there we go. So another cake caked. I'll let you know how it tastes. Next week, coconut and mango yogurt cake I'll be making, and I'm looking forward to making that because I'm going to take that. We're going to the cinema in the evening on Friday next week, so with my friends. So I'll make that for us, and then we can each have a slice of cake. Isn't that nice? Oh, I've just spent a very nice hour. Well, David's unpicked his cross stitch that he got wrong. Was that frustrating or okay?
No, it's fine.
It's okay. He did it with 3 threads. I think they're called skeins. Maybe that's not. We need to start watching Floss Tube, David. You know what Floss Tube is? Cross stitching YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's just sat and unpicked that. Well, I've just sat and watched Aoife from Words of Clover. Her best books of the year, and one of her best books of the year was The Rachel Incident, which was another favourite of mine, another one of my favourites of the year. And then I've just sat and watched Jen's 2023 wrap up with stats. Her stats are amazing. Charts, best and worst books. So I'll link both of those videos down below because I've just had a lovely time. And I've sat here with my laptop atop my lap, putting reservations on at the library, and David and I are going to walk to the library tomorrow to pick up 2 that have already come on. Not from the videos I've just watched. That would be really fast. Because I've been watching a lot of best books of the year. So I'm now going to go and get in the bath. David, well, we've got 2 hours and 50 minutes until Traitors is on. But we also want to watch Taskmaster. And I want to make that curry. I don't think the curry will take very long to make.
No, not at all. But
so I think I'm going to go and get in the bath now, and I'm going to take Viola Davis with me into the bath. Come on, Viola, in you get. You don't mind having the tap end, do you, Viola? She doesn't mind. And I'm going to read that, and David's going to bring me a cup of tea in the bath, hopefully. Not right now. Give me a chance to get in and get settled. And then when I get out the bath, David gets in the bath, and that's when I begin with the making dinner. And then maybe when we're eating dinner, we can watch Taskmaster, finish watching that. I'm going to do some more cross stitch, and yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, if you don't mind, David, I'm going to use the end of your reindeer bubble bar, if that's okay.
Go for it, Bob.
I thought you might find that okay. And I would like to use up the end of this Winter's Eve candle, just because I think that candle pot is going to be lovely to have some bath salts in. It doesn't secure on top, so I think it might belong to us. So we might keep our bath salts in there just with it on top, because I don't think we can give it as a gift. I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but David and I are being very creative with our birthday and eventually Christmas gifts this year, and that's why there's a lot of cross stitching going on, because we're making a lot of our gifts through cross stitch. And also, I haven't done this yet, but I'd like to make some bath salts for presents, although no one in David's family has a bath.
My sister's house.
Oh yeah, so we've got to get a bit more creative with that. Yeah, we need to think about how we're gonna do that. But yeah, eventually I'll and as that happens, and as maybe I get better or worse at that, I'll share with you what I've been doing for that. But I found a few recipes. Is it still a recipe if you're not eating it? How to make bath salts, and I've got the bits for it. I bought some bits for it at the beginning of the year, not too much because I didn't know how it was going to go. But yeah, so we've been collecting jars and stuff to put those in. So yeah, anyway, me and Viola are going to go and get the bath, and I guess I'll see you when I'm out of the bath in my cosy jammies. That was a lovely bath, and now I'm in my cosy clothes. I feel like all I bloody do is moan about what's wrong with me at the moment, but I've got a bit of a backache, and I don't know if it's because of, and a bit of a chest pain, and I don't know if it's because I'm literally just cross stitching all the time and I don't move this arm at all. This arm just stays on, and the angle at which I am on there. So yeah, I don't know if that's, plus I got a tummy ache, plus I got this. Anyway, just to say, I had a good old read of Viola Davis while we were in the bath, chatting, me and Viola. And I'm on page 188, and that's less than, oh no it's not, it's just over 100 pages left. So there is every chance I could get this done this weekend, which wasn't what I had planned at all. But that means I will be able to open another, this one of my peasants, because this is on the best books of a booktuber's. I need to look at who it was. I've just watched so many, including 2 today, of people's best books of the year, so I need to have a look and find out who that was. But yeah, if I finish it this weekend, then I may well be able to do it. Right, I'm going to go and make dinner. David's just got in the bath, and going to listen to a little bit more of Lowborn, but then I think I might listen to an album. A couple of my favourite albums from last year: Aurora from the Daisy Jones and the Six TV show, and That Feels Good by Jessie Ware. 2 of my favourite albums that came out last year, but other albums that I listened to last year that I loved. Loved Self-Esteem's album, and may I also just use this as an opportunity to say I've been listening to Ray's album 21st Century Blues, which came out last. Oh, that could be something we could watch tonight as well. That came out last year, and I love it and love her. And there's a programme on BBC iPlayer at the moment, which is her at the Royal Albert Hall. Oh, maybe David might want to watch that actually. That would be a good thing to watch while we're doing cross-stitching. She says, after moaning that she thinks it's the cross-stitching that's giving her a back and chest ache. But yeah, I'm going to go and listen to the end of this chapter, which is just 4 minutes. And then I'll put on, I think maybe That Feels Good by Jessie Ware, because that feels good. Do it again. Do it again. I wish I was having a massage now, and then I'd be saying that feels good, do it again, do it again. Right, let's go. Looking like it. Right, so did I say that this is where the book that the recipe's from? 30 Minute Mowgli. Oh, I thought it was a longer one. Oh, that's good. It's only take 30 minutes, maybe even less. Oh no, but I need to get the rice on first. I've mentioned in a recent video, David and I are fully converted to brown rice, which when I used to eat it raw, I used to absolutely hate it, but now I love it. But it just takes ages to cook. So I'll get that on, and then I'll start making the rest of it. Mango chicken curry. Let's go! Dinner is served. It looks not sloppy in this light, but look, we've really got to put an end to having this observer on the table, haven't we? We just love it so much. We're about to watch. That's my washing in the corner. Julia. The Julia Childs thing. That light or the other one?
Other one, please.
We'll see how it goes. There's no Taskmaster on. Well, it looks lovely, doesn't it?
It's really nice, bub.
It looks very, well, it's basically, well, actually, it's not quite as much ganache as I thought it would be, but it is.
I mean, there's quite a lot of ganache.
Here it is.
Quite
but
a lot
inside looks pretty well baked.
Yeah, it looks like.
That seems to be my problem when I've made stuff before, is that I just can't get it all like to bake at the same rate.
Looks like quite like gooey.
It's very nice. It's quite grown up.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so chocolatey.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well
Well done me.
2 for 2, bub.
Are we taking the lime test off the top?
Something you wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
Oh,
2
wow.
for 2.
That's so good.
It feels very, yeah, like I say, very grown up, very
posh.
It's lovely though.
Really nice.
Oh, well done, not green roasting tin, sweet roasting tin. But there are some savoury recipes in there as well.
Oh man, it's lovely.
I love there's like a bit of salt in the ganache, so every now and again you get like a little flake.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, right. Should we watch the Traitors then?
Yeah, sure.
And then we'll give you a bit of Traitors chat afterwards.
Traitors debrief.
Yeah. Oh my god. You definitely don't need more than that slice though, do you?
No, because this is a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're very into it. We're very into it. So this will include, this little chat we're going to have about the Traitors will include, I feel like I'm doing my Archers podcast, David. This will include spoilers up to and including episode 6 of the Traitors. So the Friday episode of the second week. Go now. I'll call you back if you haven't seen it. So we've just seen Miles give Diane the goblet,
the
poison
chalice.
Didn't see her drink from it, but she's in receipt of it.
Imagine if she just says, actually gives it to someone else and be like, I don't want this, do you want it? And she's like, yeah, cool, thanks.
No, I can't see it getting out.
It was Evie, or was it Charlie next to her?
Well, they're Evie, Charlie and Molly. I don't feel like they're adding all that much to the game.
They're really quiet.
And
to be honest,
I don't feel like they're coming up with any names or anything like that. And I'm a bit confused as to why they're still there.
But I feel like Miles is a bit like that. But obviously,
he's upped it a bit now. I think he realises he's got to do a bit more.
Yeah, I think after the demise of Ash.
When you're watching it, are you watching it because you want the traitors to win, or you want the faithful to win?
Of course I want the traitors to win.
I want the traitors to win.
Yeah.
But I would be a terrible traitor. But I want them to win.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to, I couldn't keep that up.
I think, I can't see Paul getting all the way. I just think Jazz is onto him, and when Jazz is talking to him, he's just like, I can see in his eyes he doesn't believe anything Paul's saying. He's just got to manage to convince other people that Paul is a traitor. And
what I think to Lauren, what I said to Lauren is that I think Jazz will keep quiet for a little bit.
He can't stay too quiet though, because they could kill him. So they haven't. I don't think they've killed him tonight.
But they won't, because if he goes, then they will automatically think Paul, because Paul is the only one he's kind of had a.
Yeah, they need to get him to vote him off, I guess.
Running with.
Yeah, but I'll be disappointed. Well, I mean, I guess it's Diane that's gone, and it will be disappointing because I think she is a good character. But I also think she's a good person.
She's a good faithful.
She's a good faithful.
Yeah.
She did amazing in that task tonight as well.
Yeah,
but yeah, next week's episode looked insane. They look like they're all dressed for a funeral, and there's Paul laying in a grave and lots of crying and all sorts of stuff going on. So yeah, it's a great series. It's just great. We're thinking we're going to watch the Australian one after, because that's all on iPlayer. But yeah, very much enjoying it. What do you want to do now then?
I want to carry on doing some cross stitching. You need to show me this.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, maybe.
But first, we'll do a wee wee.
You go and have a wee wee, but I think I'll call it a day tonight. David got me this as one of my Christmas presents. Was it my stocking, David? This? No, I don't think it was.
So yeah.
And yeah, we saw it in cancer research, and I was like, oh my god, that would be amazing. It's just a hot water bottle that goes around your neck, but then also can still be used like on tummies and stuff like that. I've left my plug in. Oh, also, if I ever get a shoulder ache, look, you can put that there like that. I've left my plug-in hot water bottle at work, which is sad because I use that every night to warm my bed up before I get into my bed. So, but we'll call it a day, and we'll see you tomorrow for a few more chores, a bit more reading. If I wrap it up tomorrow, then classical music. Yeah. See you then. Night night. Good morning. God, I feel like I've been so good this morning. Already cleaned the bathroom. Been out for a walk to the library to collect 3 books that I had reservations on. Been to the pharmacy. Feeling like I've had a shower, washed my hair. All before 11:36, imagine. So I've just got to put the washing out. Done a load of washing. That's got to go out, so I'm going to move all this. And then I'm going to sit down and do a bit of reading. But I thought I would show you, if you don't mind me just going to hang my coat up, I thought I'd show you the books I got out from the library today, and then the books I got out from the library earlier this week. So one moment. So, oh, and one more. So earlier this week, I'm a member of 2 libraries, so if I've bored you with this before, apologies. But earlier this week I went to the library which is near where I work and picked up 5 books. I've been putting loads and loads of reservations on stuff because I've been watching videos which are showing people's best books of the year. You've seen me watch some yesterday. I've been watching videos where people are talking about what books they're excited about coming out this year. And the exciting thing you can do is you can, not for the whole year, but for, I need David to help me fold this up, it's too big. But for the books that are coming out in the next few months, the library already have record of them being on order, so I can put reservations on books that are coming out. So I've put lots of reservations on the books, on loads of books, so I would say like over 30 books so far. The library near where I work, you don't have to pay for reservations. The library here, you do, you pay £1. So, and I've put I already paid £10 online because it stops you from putting any more on after £10, and then I paid £7 today, so that's £17 worth of library reservations. But I'm happy to pay it because I don't have to buy the books. It's funding the library, which I'm very happy to do. And yeah, those are the 2 reasons. So the books I picked up from the library today are, I think both of these are from Lena's best books. I'm not going to remember all of who these books are the best books of, but I've picked up Monsters, A Fan's Dilemma, which is a non-fiction book. So, and this is a topic that I'm very much interested in, and I also think David might be interested in this as well. So it's about, can we love the work of Roman Polanski and Michael Jackson, Hemingway and Picasso? Should we love it? Does genius deserve special dispensation? What makes women artists monstrous, and what should we do with beauty and our unruly feelings about it? So these questions are explored, and our relationships with the artist whose behaviour disrupts our ability to understand the work on its own terms. She interrogates her own responses and behaviours, and she pushes the fan and the reader to do the same. So I think it's going to be really interesting. I've also been quite into fandom this year, last year. A lot of my favourite, 2 of my favourite books of the year were to do with fandom. One was called I'm a Fan, and the other was called Idle Burning. So I think that's going to be great. Then I've got Mrs. S. In an elite British English boarding school where the girls kiss the marble statue of the famous dead author who used to walk the halls, a young Australian woman arrives to take up the antiquated role of matron. Within this landscape of immense privilege in which the girls can sense the slightest weakness in those around them, she finds herself unsure of her role, her accent and her body. That is until she meets Mrs. S, the headmaster's wife, a woman who is her polar opposite, assured, sophisticated, a paragon of femininity. Over the course of a long, restless heatwave, the matron finds herself irresistibly drawn ever closer into Mrs. S's world, and their unspoken desire blooms into an illicit affair of electric intensity. But as the summer begins to fade, both women know that a choice must be made. Yeah, it sounds great. It's a tale of queer love that smoulders with the heat of summer. I mean, I do like to read summer books that summer, but I've got it now. And then the last one, I think this is a reservation that I've put on at my other library, but I saw it was in there today, so I picked this up. And this is How High We Go in the Dark by Sakosha Nagamatsu. So it's set in Siberia in 2031. After a virus unearthed from melting permafrost unleashes a deadly plague upon humanity, those left alive are forced to adapt to a new world, and do so in a myriad of moving and inventive ways. Among those adjusting to this new normal are an aspiring comedian employed by a theme park designed for terminally ill children, who falls in love with a mother trying to desperately keep her son alive, a scientist who, having failed to save his own son from the plague, gets a second chance at fatherhood when one of his test subjects, a pig, develops human speech. Sounds a bit bizarre. And a widowed partner and her teenage granddaughter who must set off on a cosmic quest to locate a new home planet. So yeah, there we go. Science fiction, I guess. Yeah, SF sci-fi. So those ones I picked up today. And then earlier on in the week I picked up Finding Me by Viola Davis, which I'm already reading. And I may well get this done today. I'm on page 212 and it's 291 pages. So less than 100 pages to go. Also picked up Incomparable World, which is also from Lena's Best Books of the Year, S.I. Martin. In the years after the American Revolution, London was the unlikely refuge for thousands of black Americans who fought for liberty on the side of the British. Buckram, Georgie and William have earned their freedom and escaped their American oppressors, but on the streets of London, poverty awaits with equal cruelty. Ruthless, chaotic and endlessly evolving, London forces them into a life of crime and a life on the margins. Their only hope for a better future is to concoct a scheme so daring it will be a miracle if it pays off. Then so many people had mentioned this as their favourite book of last year. It's In Memoriam by Alice Wynne. And it says here, in 1914, war feels far away to Henry Gaunt, Sidney Elwood and the rest of their classmates, safely ensconced in their idyllic boarding school in the English countryside. Second book about a boarding school. At 17, they're too young to enlist, and anyway, Gaunt is busy fighting his own private battle, an all-consuming infatuation with his best friend, the dreamy, poetic Elwood, not having a clue that Elwood is in love with him and always has been. When Gaunt's German mother asks him to enlist in the British Army to protect the family from anti-German attacks, Gaunt signs up immediately, relieved to escape his overwhelming feelings for Elwood. The front is horrific, of course, and though Gaunt tries to dissuade Elwood from following him to the battlefield, Elwood soon rushes to join him. Once in the trenches, Elwood and Gaunt find fleeting moments of solace in each other, but their friends are all dying in front of them, and at any moment they could be next. Sounds tragic, but I've heard very good. I picked up this. This hasn't been on anyone's favourite books, but this is Dolly Alderton's Good Material. I didn't get on with Ghosts, which was her other novel, and I gave up. I've given it to my sister-in-law, but I did really love her non-fiction work, Everything I Know About Love. So this is about Andy loves Jen, Jen loves Andy, and he can't work out why she stopped. Now he's without a home, waiting for his stand-up career to take off, wondering why everyone else around him seems to have grown up while he wasn't looking. There we go, about heartbreak in a relationship. So maybe I'll get around to that. This last one is a bit lull because I don't think I'm going to get around to reading this, but look how big this is. This is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Again, somebody mentioned this as their favourite book of the year. I'm not a fantasy reader, nor am I normally someone who reads a book this big. Although, this is, I mean, it's 896 pages, 830 pages, which that looks to me much more than 830 pages. But I don't know if it's the paper's thick or whatever. But yeah, I mean, tell me, I've already had a few people back, because when I mentioned this on Instagram and I said, am I actually gonna read this? Like, it's huge, I'm not much of a fantasy reader. And a few people got back to me and said, I am a fantasy reader, and even I struggled. So am I gonna commit to this? So it says here, a world divided, a queendom without an heir, an ancient enemy awakens. The house of Brenthnut has ruled Inis for 1,000 years. Still unwed, Queen Sabran IX must conceive a daughter to protect her realm from destruction, but assassins are creeping closer to her door. Eid Durian is an outsider at court. Though she has risen to the position of lady-in-waiting, she is loyal to a hidden society of mages. Eid keeps a watchful eye on Sabran, secretly protecting her with forbidden magic. Across the sea, Tane has trained to be a dragon rider since she was a child, but is forced to make a choice that could see her life unravel. Meanwhile, the divided east and west refuse to parley, and forces of chaos are rising from their sleep. I don't know. Like I said, oh, hello, Deppy! I'm not much of a fantasy reader anyway, so is that going to be for me? Who knows? But anyway, let us put this washing away and put the new washing on. Then I'll make a cup of tea and have a good old sesh with Viola and see where the day takes me. What do you think, Deppy? Oh my God. I've just... I don't know what the light's going to be like because I'm going to be backlit to shit. But David's just started doing his cross stitch in the lounge, and I wanted to read, and I can't. There's my bras, and I can't read when there's background stuff going on, apart from sort of classical music or music with no lyrics. So I was just on my phone for a bit, and then I thought, oh, well, I will go into the bedroom and do a bit of reading. Then David said, oh, I'm gonna leave Jackass Forever on, and I was like, I already know I don't like those films, but at the moment there is a man with his penis painted like a dinosaur, and I believe there's going to be some excretion coming from that penis at some point, and I just thought, nah. So back from Miss Sisters, we had some burgers, had the rest of the cake that I made yesterday. Everyone was very impressed with it, although not so much excitement for future cakes, because we've got coffee and marmalade coming up, and people were like, why are you making that? But I will work my way through. And the only thing is that second glass dish that I've been baking the cakes in that works so perfectly, I didn't realise, but it actually belongs to my sister. So I don't know what I'm going to do next week when I make that, because it was just the amount that we were making was perfect in there. So yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that going forward, but we move with it. So yeah, so now I'm in bed. It's only 10:15. I've got me Oodie, but it's not an Oodie, it's made by Sainsbury's. David's sister got it for me for Christmas, so very cosy in bed and read a little bit more. I picked up some more of Jane is Trying, and I've still got a little bit more of Finding Me, so maybe I'll carry on a bit more with Jane is Trying before I go to sleep. But yeah, I'll keep reading maybe for an hour or so, and then brush my teeth and go to sleep. So cozy. We've got our I put these new sheets on the bed on Thursday, I think, and they're brushed cotton, and they're just so cozy. Morning. I'm really trying to move without knocking my camera over. Don't fall over. I can't. Just don't. It's Sunday morning. I'm back in bed. I've been up and I've cleaned the toilet and the shower in the ensuite and put on a load of washing. And I've got back in bed because I had a bowl of not granola, muesli and a cup of tea, and read a little bit more of Viola Davis because I'm committed to finishing this, because I looked up whose best book of the year this was, and it was Mafalda is Reading. She actually said this was her favourite book of the year. So yeah, so if I finish this today, I get to have my little treat. So the day looks as going forward, I'm going to have a daytime bath. I haven't been really having many baths recently, she says. Did I have a bath on Friday night? Did I? Maybe I did. I can't remember. But I feel like I haven't had all that many baths. So we're going to have a daytime bath because I love a daytime bath. And David and I are going to the theatre tonight to watch the Philharmonic Orchestra perform songs from the Oscars, which is very exciting, at the Marlowe in Canterbury. And we booked to have dinner at Pho, which is a Vietnamese place in Canterbury that myself and my cousin Laura have been to before and very much enjoyed. So we want to leave here about 5:30 maybe. So I want to get everything done by 5:30 and get dressed. I don't know what I'm going to wear actually. I feel like I want to wear something a bit nice. So rest of the stuff I want to do today, I want to finish the Viola Davis book, daytime bath, don't have to wash my hair because I did that yesterday. Couple of jobs in the kitchen maybe a little bit of cross stitch. We've got a broth to have for, we're going to be having double broth because we're going to have broth. I suppose we could have that broth for dinner tomorrow night. So if we're having pho for dinner, we don't want a soup. It's like a sort of vegetarian chowder thing. Maybe we'll have something else and we'll have that for dinner tomorrow night. Maybe. So yeah, so that's the plan. So just keep plugging on at my little bits, and I'll probably see you before we head off to the theatre to wrap up the day. We've been playing with Daphne lots this morning. She keeps upending her water bowls, and we looked into it, and it's apparently because we're not giving her enough attention. I don't know, I could give that cat more attention if I'm being honest, but we've been playing with her for ages this morning, so she should be feeling very attention given. Shouldn't you? Do you feel like we've been playing with you? Yes we have. We've been playing with you. She's so cute. We have, haven't we? Have we been playing with you? Have we? Cute. Hello. We're getting to the end of the weekend now, and I'm just ready to go to the theatre to listen to some classical music. And it reminded me that I said I would listen to a piece of classical music when we did this. And I'm using the Year of Wonder, which is the classical music for every day. Now today is the 14th of January, and the piece we're listening to is lucevan stelle, which is also known as And the Stars Were Shining, from Tosca, by Giacomo Puccini. It is opera, so it has lyrics, and the version I'm going to be listening to, David, your favourite opera singer and mine, there's only one I know, you must know him too.
Pavarotti.
Pavarotti! So I got the Pavarotti version, but it says here, opera has a reputation, sometimes justified, for overblown storylines and high drama. Puccini's Tosca, which was premiered in Rome on this day in 1900, is no exception, but it also contains moments of searing emotional truth and fabulous music throughout. At the moment in Act 3, when this aria occurs, the painter Mario Cavaradossi, who's in love with the singer Florio Tosca, has been caught up in a complex plot of lust, betrayal, the usual operatic fare, and is awaiting execution. He has been told he has a single hour to live. So the lyrics he's singing in Italian are, my dream of love has vanished forever, that moment has vanished, and I die in despair. I die in despair, and never before have I loved life so much. So from the moment the solo clarinet enters with its mournful refrain, I'm gone, says Clemency. Oh, sorry, Dappy. Puccini, by the way, was a bit of a hit factory, writing what we might think of as the pop songs of his days. His influence goes far beyond the operatic world. In 1920, the world's greatest entertainer, Al Jolson, wrote a song called Avalon. He was promptly sued by Grillo Ricordo, Puccini's publisher, who pointed out that the melody had been lifted straight from El Lucevan Stelle. Awkwardly, Puccini's team was awarded $25,000 in damages and all future royalties for the songs. So here we are. Listen to it. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to be painting my nails while it's going on. El Lucevan Stelle and the Stars Were Shining from Tosca by Giacomo Puccini. Well, there we go. What did you think, David?
It was nice.
It's nice. I don't think I'm fully converted to opera. I think it's going to take me a bit of more time to get me there than it is classical music. What I will say is that it felt very familiar. I don't know if it's just because it was Pavarotti and I'm very familiar with his voice.
Pavo.
Oh, Pavo. I tell you what though, when I was younger, I really used to think Pavarotti and Henry VIII were the same person. They've got the same sort of big main character vibes, haven't they? So yeah, there we go. Right, I'm just going to finish painting my nails and then we'll go and answer the question, read the poem, and I'll get my little Prezi because I finished a book that was on a booktuber's best books of the year. So I'm feeling very pleased with myself. Right, there we go. I've just put a top coat on this and then we're good to go. I'm getting ready to go out now, so nails dry. Look how lovely that mirror looks there, by the way. I'm so pleased with it. And yeah, let's just wrap this up. So first of all, let's answer the question, which was, if you could be inserted into a romantic relationship from any book, which one would you choose? And which character are you in this literary love affair? Now, I've got two. The first one is because I would be thrilled and excited about the whole thing, but the actual relationship is not good. But that's that between Bridget Jones and Daniel Cleaver in Bridget Jones's Diary. It's just something about the flirtiness of it, fancying someone at work, that sort of dynamic and these flirty messages and the will they, won't they, and that sort of like evokes something of me from my younger days. Like I said, it's not a good relationship by any means. And it's just the more sort of like sexual frisson and really fancying someone that I'm into. But the next relationship I've got, I think, is a lovely relationship, and that's a relationship between Charlie and Nick in Heartstopper. They are a lovely pair, the pair of them, and I'd quite happily take the place of either of them, because I think they're in a really loving, caring relationship, very open, very adult relationship for the youngsters that they are. So yeah, I think I would be, and also like they just really fancy each other and just want the best for each other, and they've got a really lovely supportive group of friends around them, and they just seem like lovely lads. So there we go. So my answer to, if you could be inserted into a romantic relationship from any book, which one would you choose, and which character are you in this literary love affair? For the vibes and the frisson, I'd go for Daniel Cleaver and Bridget Jones, but not for the long-term relationship. But for the long-term relationship, I'd go for either Nick or Charlie in Heartstopper. So there we go, lovely. Interested to hear what your answers to those are. We'll be reading a poem in a minute, but I get to have another little treat out of my box of treats that Jen made me. So there's 10 in here, and the treat that I will get, here we go. Read a book that was on another booktuber's best books of the year list, and that's because I finished Finding Me by Viola Davis, which was Mafalda is reading, whose channel I will link down below, her best book of the, well, she talks about many, she talks about, I think it's 10, and then within it she says that this would probably be her best book of the year. So yeah, but it was on the list, so there we go. So let's have a look. This feels like jewellery. I mean, maybe it is. Still being careful with my nails. These little bags are so cute. Oh, I think it is jewellery. It's in a little box. Oh my God, it's adorable. Oh my God, this is so lovely. It is jewellery. It's a book. Oh my God, this is so cute. Look, it's a book with these little, I don't want to be my face in it. Look at that. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Oh, that maybe looks like that's from Emma Carpenter as well. The flowers look a bit similar. That is so, I'm so touched. This is the second thing. I'm going to be like this every single week. Thank you so much, Jen. What a lovely little prize that I feel that I have owned. And then as I did last time, I'll take this off. My battery's about to run out, so let me go and change my battery and then I'll read out the poem for you. Battery changed. Poem. I would say locked and loaded, but I'm finding it now. So it's the 14th of January. We've got two. We've got To Science by Edgar Allan Poe or Doors by Carl Sandburg. I think we'll go for Doors by Carl Sandburg, just because I've not heard of Carl Sandburg before. So it says here, the writer Carl Sandburg won 3 Pulitzer Prizes for literature, 2 for his poetry and 1 for a biography of President Lincoln. This poem might seem simple for such a fated author, but its power stems from the way it takes an everyday object, a door, and makes it seem like something altogether more abstract and conceptual. An open door says come in. A shut door says who are you? Shadows and ghosts go through shut doors. If a door is shut and you want it shut, why open it? If a door is open and you want it open, why shut it? Doors forget, but only doors know what it is doors forget. Thoughts upon thoughts upon thoughts. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me for another Friday reading vlog. Hope you've enjoyed the questions, the lovely necklace that I can't wait to wear. I'm going to wear that next week in my reading vlog. And the reading and the cake and all of that sort of thing. And I'll see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye!